Guess what? Yay! Power came back on. I'm back home. That's the good news. Bad news, I still don't have internet restored, but I have somewhat of a workaround on that. So we're going to try to get back to the regular routine and normal schedule here on the channel. So today's Wednesday. I don't normally do a live show on Wednesday. I'm going to go live tonight for about an hour or so, maybe a little more. Might take a phone call or two, but it's not technically a call-in show. We're just going to talk some football in the chat. It's just been a long time since I've been able to go live with you guys. And honestly, I just miss talking football with you. So we're going to go live, I don't know, probably 8 o'clock or so. We'll go live tonight for an hour, maybe a little more. We'll see how it goes. Talk some college football. Well, what I want to talk about in today's video, Shane Beamer, head coach at South Carolina. Have y'all heard about this? There's a new cancer in college football where if people aren't happy or they don't think their team is good enough or they think they deserve more NIL money or really any reason at all, that after they play 4 games, they're crawling into the coach's office and requesting a red shirt so that they can reserve a year of eligibility and then enter the portal in the offseason. Now, I hate this. Everybody hates this. It's ridiculous. Now, the idea of red shirting has been around a long time. And, you know, it kind of started out as a way to get a 5th year of eligibility, right? You're in college for 4 years, basically 4 years of eligibility. You can redshirt 1 year, and that gives you an extra year of eligibility at the end, a 5th year. That's how sort of the original redshirt idea. And what it was for was incoming freshmen who weren't ready, either physically or weren't good enough yet or needed to learn the system, whatever the case. And they could play initially in up to 1 or 2 games a year and reserve that year of eligibility, a red shirt, and then have an additional year at the end. A few years ago, it was changed to 4 games. So you can play in up to 4 games. Doesn't matter whether you play 1 snap in a game or you play every snap of a game. You can play in up to 4 games and red shirt, right? And again, the idea of a red shirt is not something that players request. It's a coaching thing. The coach goes, you know what? We like this kid. He's good. We think he can help us down the line. He's not quite ready right now. So we're going to play him in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 games, get his feet wet, get him used to the college game. And then he still has 4 additional years of eligibility that he can play. And it was the coaches who made these decisions. You don't walk into, it's like walking into your boss's office at work and telling him, hey, these are the days I'm going to work next week. I don't feel like working on these days, so I'm only going to work. It's backwards. It is flipped around in college football where players are demanding red shirts. And again, it's not because they don't think they're ready to play, which is the original design of a red shirt. It's because they don't like it. They don't like how much they're playing or how little they're playing or what position they're playing or how they're being used. Or maybe they just think the team is terrible and they want to reserve that year of eligibility and they want to transfer, basically is what they want to do. They've already made up their mind they're going to transfer at the end of the season. So basically what they're doing is quitting. Let's call it what it is. This is what these players are doing. They are quitting. If you walk into your coach's office at any point during the season and basically tell him, I'm not playing anymore, you're quitting. You can call it redshirting. You can call it whatever you want. That's what you're doing. You're quitting. You're quitting. But then you also want all the advantages that come along with being a part of the team. You want to be able to continue to practice. You want to be able to continue to take care of the meal programs and the nutrition programs and the strength training and all of the stuff that goes along, all of the advantages that you get as a college football player for being a part of that team. You want all that. You just don't want to do anything to help the team. In other words, you just don't want to play for the team. You want to take advantage of all the services you're getting as being a member of that team, but you no longer wish to actually play for that team. And what do you do as a head coach? A lot of these head coaches are just, okay, all right. Not Shane Beamer. And look, I've had issues with Shane Beamer in the past. Some of the post-game press conference kind of clown antic behavior that he does after losses and whatever. This kid walks into Shane Beamer's office after playing for 4 games, and he's played significantly in every game, more and more every week. He's a big part of South Carolina's plan defensively in terms of what they do from week to week. They've got a big game coming up against Alabama this week. And this jamoke walks into Shane Beamer's office and says, "Hey, Coach, I quit. I'm not playing the rest of the year. Now, I still want to practice. I still want to get better. I still want to be a part of the strength training and nutrition programs. I want to live in the fancy football dorm buildings. I want to be able to use the training facility. If I get hurt, I want you to cover it. I still want all that, Coach. I just don't want to play for you the rest of the year. And at the end of the year, by the way, I'm transferring and hitting the portal." Shane Beamer looked that kid dead in the face and goes, "Yeah? Well, just get out now." Shane Beamer's my new hero. Now, I don't know. Look, I'm not a coach, so I don't have to worry about figuring out or dealing with the ramifications of what telling a player that could mean. Does it mean somewhere down the road a player that's considering South Carolina may not go to South Carolina because Shane Beamer took this stance on mid-season redshirting, quitting? I don't know. And again, I don't care because I don't have to suffer that potential consequence or even worry about that consequence. So it doesn't bother me. But I absolutely love what Shane Beamer did here. Shane Beamer said, wait a minute. So you've been here all year, practicing, using all of this stuff. We've got you playing. You're playing more every week. You're a big part of our plan. And what, you don't, something about it here you don't like, whether it's playing time or whatever else, and so you just want to quit, and you're telling me you're entering the portal in December, but you just want to what, hang around? No. Go. Bye. Pack your shit. Here's a box. Shoe Leather Express, buddy. Get out of town on the first thing smoking. I love this. This is great. More coaches need to have an I don't give a fuck attitude. Look, I'm all for players having all these new rights and that they have with NIL and even the transfer portal and all that. Now, I don't like some of the consequences of what has come, like this, for example. But I do feel like players deserve a lot of these rights that they've been given or earned over the last few years. I'm in favor of all of that. But here's the thing. Once you start getting paid, whether it's through NIL or whatever, I mean, these are employees. Let's call them what they are. There's a lot of benefits to that. Players are getting paid. They're getting more exposure. They have more freedom of movement. They can change schools more easily. You've got what seems like never-ending years of eligibility. Okay, great. But guess what? There's some consequences that come along with that. And one of the consequences is, you want to quit? Quit. Go. If you're not helping us, why are we going to help you? I'm all for this. Shout out Shane Beamer. I'm curious what the rest of y'all think about it. Because this is basic. This is the new I'm not playing in the bowl game. That's what this is. This is the new I'm not playing in the bowl game. Now, why do they quit? Why do they sit out the bowl game? They sit out the bowl game because they're transferring to the NFL, and why play in a meaningless bowl game? Well, never mind the rest of your teammates that might need you, or the school or the fans that's been supporting you for the 3 or 4 years you were there. Fuck them. You're off to the NFL, so fuck it, you're not playing in the bowl game. Well, now these players are 3-4 games into the season, and that's what they're doing. They're quitting. They're opting out. Whatever. Some of y'all get so mad when I use the word quit. Google it. Google what quit means. Quit means there's more left to do, but you're not going to do it. For whatever reason. Now, this is where y'all make me mad. Because when y'all argue with me about calling these players quitters, you go, well, they're not quitting, they're opting out because they're entering the NFL. Yeah, I know they're entering the NFL. That's the reason that they're quitting. But it's still quitting. So in the case of this guy, well, he's opting out, woo. He's taking his red shirt, woo, to reserve a year of eligibility. I know why he's doing it. It's still quitting. The definition of a word doesn't change just because it hurts your fucking feelings. These players are quitting. Now, the guy at UNLV, okay, that's, he depending on which side of the story you believe, if he was promised money to come there and play and then didn't get that money, quit. And that's what he did. And I don't even necessarily have a problem with that. It's still quitting. Again, you're arguing to me the reason that he's quitting. Okay, I agree. If I worked at McDonald's and they told me I was going to make $15 an hour, and I get there and I start working and I get a paycheck and it's for $7 an hour, guess what? I'm quitting too. But it's still quitting. It's quitting because they didn't pay me what they told me. So if that's true at UNLV, then I'm on the player's side in terms of him quitting, but he still quit. But these guys are just walking. This guy just doesn't want to be there anymore. He's changed his mind. And again, there's nothing. We've given players the freedom and the right to change their mind twice a year. At the end of the year and again after spring practice, you got 2 portal windows. That's not even good enough now. That's not even enough for these people. Now they're quitting during the season. 4 games, they got to play 4 games. Doesn't like whatever. It doesn't matter. Maybe he doesn't like the way Shane Beamer's feet smell. I don't know. Whatever the reason is, he wants to quit. He wants to preserve his red shirt. That's not his decision to make. That's not his decision to make. You don't decide as a player when you're going to play, how much you're going to play, how often you're going to play, what games you're going to play in. That's literally why the coaches are there. To coach the team and decide who plays, who starts, who's the backup. How many snaps does this guy get? What sort of rotation are we going to use at the linebacker position? That's literally the coach's job. If the coach doesn't think you're ready to play in a particular year, he can choose to redshirt you. That's not your decision. You're just quitting. You're choosing to quit now because redshirt exists. Because the rule exists that says if you can play up to 4 games and reserve a year of eligibility. I'm Team Beamer on this one.